Hello, 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 and welcome to today's video. In today's video, this is February 15th. It marks the 30 days, 1 month of being on the warrior diet, experimenting with that style eating, 20-hour fast, 4-hour eating window. And so I'm gonna update you, since my last update, not necessarily from the beginning, but since my last update. There's 2 other videos. I'll link it in the description. This is video number 3. So I have my whiteboard again, and I'll be outlining a few things. I'm going over specific topics. I did this just kind of quickly, so if I think of anything extra, I'll do another update video, I guess. But this is what I have here. So originally it was 7 days or more. I was open to the possibility of more. Obviously, it's been 4 times that, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the warrior diet. I don't know how long I'll continue. I'm not saying I'll continue indefinitely, but thus far I don't see any reason to get off of it. All right, so numero uno is hunger. Okay, so at this point, hunger is very much a non-issue. To break my fast is effort. Typically I break my fast around, well, it varies. Sometimes 4:30, most times 5, 6:30 nowadays. It's definitely an effort. And one of the things I'm considering is breaking my fast until about 5, like training the 4, or 5:30, training the 4 o'clock hour, and then just pushing it back till 5:30, even more. You'd think the issue would be wanting to push it up, but I want to push it further. So so that's been an interesting experience. During the fasting window, still, I go through bouts of maybe lowered energy, and when that occurs, I might have some tea or maybe some coffee, that sort of thing. But it's not hungry low energy. It's more just lower energy, So that's what I'll do. Training, I got a question about training. I forgot what the person had asked, but for me, I eat a half an hour after I'm done training, because, I come home, or if I'm already home, I'll, take a shower, that sort of thing, make my meals, and then break my fast, so it's about a half an hour. So one thing I do want to clarify is when I break my fast, I don't just have this whole feast lied out ready for me to consume. I typically will make a meal. For example, omelet's pretty much a staple in my diet. So I'll make a meal, and then when I'm done with that meal, I may have a second meal after that. Depending on how my day's split up, I may have a second meal after that. And then a third snack type meal after that. Or what I'll do is I'll have one meal, and then a third meal, or a second meal, an hour later, and then a third meal, before bedtime sometimes. Sometimes I do just 2 big meals. So when it says warrior diet 1 meal a day, I thought maybe I should clarify that. It's not like I'm, like I said, sitting at one sitting and just eating a bunch of food at one time. Though I don't see that as being impossible at all. I just don't do it. So, yeah. It's crazy though how not full I am, or not full, but bloated or anything like that after my meals. That brings me to this other point. Some of the experience that I've had on this, crazy, mind-blowing experience, I think is in combination with high fat, low carb. I just want to clarify that. I'm not sure that I would feel this amazing if I had, more carbs in my diet. I think it's a combination. I think it's me getting into the state of ketosis at certain points, which I have not tested. But I think that's all what's kind of making this such a joyful experience. So I talked about this in another video as well, but the heightened awareness, man, it's just it's so obvious. It's something I can't not talk about. And an analogy I thought of is, I don't know if any of you have like a 4K TV, but it's like watching a standard versus a 4K. For me, when I'm on carbs, for example, or even when I break my fast earlier, like how I used to do intermittent fasting. I break my fast earlier on in the day. It's a standard, like I'm watching a standard screen. I'm operating in life on a standard level. But when I'm doing this, warrior diet in combination with high fat, low carb too as well, because, I was doing high fat, low carb for over a year now on intermittent fasting, but I'm lengthening my fast and doing this high fat, low carb. It just has heightened my senses, heightened my awareness, almost heightened my vision, which is really cool. Someone had asked this in a comment as well, how much weight have I lost since I started? And it's been 5 pounds, but that was never my intention. As I said in video number 1, it was never my intention to lose weight, but I have lost 5 pounds. Fear of, okay, yeah. I was like, what did I write? Fear of binging. So I've heard people in various, different groups mention the fear of binging, or people who have said that they binge. I'm not sure why that is for them, obviously. I'm not them. But I can say that there's no concern when it comes to high fat, low carb. But I do recall when I did the warrior diet, when I was on a high carb, low fat experiment in 2015, that I did have that experience of wanting to binge. With high fat, I don't. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I don't have any, I could just eat my first meal and then just not eat the rest of the day. But I want to get my macros in, so I eat more. So another thing that I do is carb backloading. So I have my meals, but the meals with the highest amount of carbs tends to be like the last meal that I have. So that's that. One of the things I've been able to really kind of see on another level is the effect of dairy on my system. Because I'm consuming really close to my bedtime, I sometimes, if I consume dairy, I'll wake up with like a clunk of like mucus in my throat, which just shows me that it's just creating extra mucus. And at the same time, I may wake up a little bit more foggy headed. So that's that. And I'm still, I'm having energy like crazy. I'm not getting that noon crash, like concentration crash. Throughout my fast, I'm consuming coffee, gum, water, tea, and I may have some of those, like a half a chicken broth or chicken bouillon, I think it's called, a cube, just to get my sodium intake. With a high fat, low carb, you need to increase your sodium. Man, I mean, there's not too much to say. I just feel really good, and I recommend you give it a try if it sparks your curiosity. I'm really enjoying it. My physique, I don't think it's changed all that much. I think, it's still doing its thing. So yeah, I mean, I'll post film a video and I'll post it now. So yeah, I don't think it's changed much. And I hope you enjoyed my video. If you liked it, go ahead and leave it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, you want to join in on the discussion, leave comments down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.